Ghislaine Maxwell, associate of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, is now in a minimum security federal prison camp in Texas after being moved Friday while serving a 20-year prison sentence in Florida. Now, the move followed a private meeting between Maxwell and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the details of which have not been made public. I want to bring in defense attorney Shan Wu, who joins us now. He's also a former federal prosecutor. Have you seen something like this before, a move like this?
No, Omar. It's very unusual for two reasons. First, she's a convicted sex offender, sex trafficker, and that typically is not the kind of person who goes to this very low level of security camp. Second of all, even if there is some basis to transfer her, Bureau of Prisons under the Justice Department is not saying why. Was it a health issue, security? And she doesn't have a track record of being in prison long enough to even be considered for something like exemplary behavior or something like that. So it's really quite a mystery.
And I should mention, CNN has reached out to the Justice Department. We haven't heard back on that front. But I guess what questions would you want to ask the Justice Department about this move? What is even being considered if you're on the prosecutorial side of things to even allow for something like this to happen?
Well, it's not unusual to offer a perk or better treatment if somebody is giving very valuable cooperation. You might have more privileges, more access to a computer, more access to counsel, etc. Here, however, it's really quite puzzling as to what kind of value she could really offer at this point. It's been so long after her conviction where nothing else has come to light on her value. There were grave doubts about her credibility to begin with. There were perjury charges brought that ultimately weren't prosecuted because she got convicted for the sex trafficking. And of course, now with this whole specter of the Deputy Attorney General talking to her, all of the public hullabaloo over Epstein, it would really call into question, whether there's any real integrity to what she would be telling Todd Blanche, who, of course, doesn't really know anything about the case. I mean, normally you'd have investigators, agents, prosecutors who know the case talking to her and interviewing her, but that's not being done here.
And President Trump hasn't closed the door on the possibility of pardoning Maxwell. Right. Obviously, this is a sex trafficking case, an associate of a sex trafficker. The sensitivity around the victims and the people involved, obviously very high. What could a pardon in this context mean for the victims?
Oh, it would be a terrible blow to the victims and show an enormous amount of disrespect for them. I mean, normally pardons, commutations come when there has been many years of a sentence already been carried out, or there's something that's really improper about the prosecution. There's none of that here. I mean, if anything, there's a strong feeling from the facts we've heard publicly that there wasn't enough prosecutions brought. There wasn't enough accountability. So at this point, to give a pardon really makes no sense at all, and I think it would be terribly insulting to the victims in this case, and really to everybody's sensitivities. It makes no sense to do a pardon here.
As a prosecutor, how would you see a pardon?
As a prosecutor, I'd see a pardon as really completely undercutting the entire case that was built. I mean, all the terrible crimes that there was enormous amounts of evidence of that she participated in, that Epstein did, it would tell me your work doesn't matter here. It's for whatever the vagaries of some sort of political whim. We're just throwing the whole case out the window.
Shan Wu, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you.